First, you want to look at the different styles of cards that we have available. On the site map, we can just come into the cards section to see an overview of all of those cards. From two-sided cards, accordion cards, business cards, all the way through our wide wallets. When looking at the cards, the embossed cards, slimline cards, and template cards are all printed on photographic paper, and that also means they are a one-sided product, where the rest of the cards are pressed products and are multi-sided. On the H&H website, if you come under the sitemap Create, you'll see a section called Photoshop Templates. On this page, we have a large collection of Photoshop templates that are available for you to download as an H&H customer at no charge. There are generic holiday cards, there's some speaker cards, but there's also a lot of holiday card templates, and you'll see what sizes and shapes of cards are available for those templates that you can download. We're going to work with the Elegance template and the Rustic template, and both of those have extra graphics for those, and I've already downloaded those, so we'll look at those next. I've downloaded the Rustic Holiday Card template, which is this zip file right here. When we extract that, we're going to find two folders in there. One is called Two-Sided, that has a 3x9 layered card template in it, as well as a folded folder. Inside of that, we're going to find 5x5, 5x5 sideshow, 5x7, and 5x7 sideshow templates. We're going to jump into the 5x7 folder, and this will give us a preview in Bridge here, the thumbnails of the cards that are available. Since it's a folded card, we're going to have a front, an inside, and a back. So this is a horizontal card. The inside, here's the top and the bottom, and then the back. And then there is a 5x7 vertical card, which is this second set of images, which are front, our inside, left, and right, and our back. When I open this up into Photoshop, I'll notice that on my Layers palette, I should have active a layer that says Paste Image here. It should be highlighted with a yellow color on your Layers palette. That's where you want your image to go. I'm going to jump back to Adobe Bridge and grab an image. So I've selected the image I want to work with. In Photoshop, I'm going to open it, copy it, go to my card, and paste the image into that layer. Once that image is pasted in there, if I need to, I can press Control or Command T to transform that, and then move that around and crop it as needed. Once that has taken place, you'll notice that everything on this card is in layers and is text editable, as long as you have the fonts for that, or you can substitute your own fonts in. So if you wanted to change this from Merry Christmas to Season's Greetings, you can do so very easily. You also have the ability to change any of the embellishments or ornaments. In this case, we have these stars up here. I can grab those and move them around if it fits the composition of the image better. And I still have my trim and safety guides available to turn those on to check to make sure everything is within those recommended parameters. Once I have that set up the way I want, I'm just going to save that card out. And then we can continue on to design the inside and the back. Once again, because this card is in layers, we can do a lot to customize that. I'm going to bring over Adobe Bridge here, and in this folder we are looking at the additional graphic elements that are available for the Rustic series. We see we have all of the different parts separated out. So if I wanted to change this card up and try to change the look and feel of that, I can do it very easily. So let's kind of look through some of the things that I can work with. I'm going to move Bridge over to my second monitor. And let's start by removing the two star ornaments. And I can also come in and change the background color. So I want to start by using the color overlay, and I want to go with a color tone that is in this image. So I might pick something that is in the family of the sweaters there and then adjust it. So I'm going to go to a deeper red than what we had just from the straight shirt. Say OK to apply that. I also might want to view that sloppy border, and I can change the color tones of that as well. We'll come in here to color overlay, and I think I'm going to pick some of the green that's back there and switch that to more of a green tone than a yellow tone. Adjust that a little bit. And I'm going to use that same color on my text. So we'll come in and add a color overlay to that. And again, sample the green that we've just created. It's not showing up real well. We might click around and see what else works. Black actually works pretty nice. Some of these other colors are disappearing in. So we'll try going with black on that. So I've changed the beginning look and feel of that, and from my elements I'm going to open up the holiday bell, bring that in and size that and place that up over the image. And if I like that element, I might bring it in a couple other times. I've got a different version of it that is a close-up. I'm going to put that down here in this corner. And then merge it down a couple layers. I think about right there. I kind of like that. And start changing this theme up. There is, if you'll notice, a grunge layer on that background. And in our graphic elements, there are several different grunge options that we can choose from that we could bring over as well. So I'm going to select that grunge layer, open up one of the new ones, copy, paste, close that, paste that layer in, and then transform it to fill that space. And with just a few clicks, I've been able to repurpose that original card to something that's personalized for my client with all this royalty-free clip art that's available. Obviously, with a little bit more time, you could work this up and end up with a really nice card that you could save out and go forward. So check out all those graphic elements that you have for these rustic cards, and keep in mind that you can modify and change those up very easily. We have a lot of interesting shapes in our designer cards. You'll see we have custom pillow cards, tags, teardrops, etc. When you come back to the card designs like the rustic and the elegance, you'll notice that none of those designer shapes are listed in these designs. Part of that was these designs were created before all those specialty shapes or the designer shapes were available. So I'm going to show you how to take a designer card and use some of those elements like we saw in rustic to make a custom card from those. For all of the designer cards, there are Photoshop guides for those custom shapes. I've gone ahead and downloaded the guide for the 5x7 tag and opened that up into Adobe Photoshop. So let's look at that. So we see the guide here in Photoshop. We'll see that there is a delete layer here at the top. That contains the text layer and the trim and safety guides. The trim area is the red area. Everything in that area will be trimmed off during production. The yellow area is your safety area. That's the area or gutter area that you don't want to put any critical elements like text or the top of somebody's head that you don't want cut off, etc. Now I've gone into the rustic theme, and I'll just kind of build this up with you in layers. The first thing is I added a color overlay to the background layer, and I'm going to turn off my wording here. So that gives me a green color for the background, and I've done that just by adding a color overlay. Next I added a grunge layer, which was one of those free layers that we had in there to give it some texture. Next thing I did is created an image box where I want the image to go. So we see here I just created a box with a white stroke on it. That's my layer 1, and then added an image into that. I brought over the train element, which is one of our graphic elements. Also brought in the star ornament and played with my layers mask to kind of have that go behind the image. And then I put a greeting on it. So very easily I took some of the graphic elements that we had available, laid out a 5x7 card that constrains to the 5x7 tag trim and safety elements, and created a whole new card very quickly and easily. Besides designing cards in Photoshop, we can also design cards in Easy Suite. We're going to start by going into Cards, Folded Cards, and we're going to choose a 5x7 card. It'll be a top fold, and we'll put that on watercolor paper. We'll go into our design tools, start by designing the front. The first thing that we're going to add is a graphic layer, and to get that positioned quickly and accurately, I'm going to right click and choose Set Location, and I want to put that first location 0.625 inches from the top and 0.625 inches from the left, and I'm going to make that width and height 6 inches by 4 inches. That'll position my first box. Next, I want to choose the color of that, so I'm going to come to Fill Color, change that to white, because I want this to basically be transparent. Say OK, that will make that disappear. And then under Effects, I'm going to add a stroke, about 3, and that gives me what appears to be a black line on a white canvas. The next thing I'm going to do is come in and add an image layer. Again, I'm going to use the right-click Set Location option to put in the coordinates, and I've figured this out ahead of time for my X and Y. And then I'm going to set my width to 5.5 inches and my height to be 3.66 inches. And that's going to help maintain the aspect ratio or close to it. Once I have that set, I can drag and drop my image in, double click on the image to perform cropping on that if I need to, and positioning. Next, I want to add text going across that. So I'm going to come up under Objects and add a text layer. And I want to have that text go right across the image. So I'm going to make my text box fit that area. Double click in that to edit. I'm going to choose a font. I'm going to go with Century Gothic. I'm going to start with 33 point, and I'm going to center that and choose my text color to be white and type in my text. Say OK, and I'll see that placed in there. I'm going to tweak that just a little bit to get it to fit a little bit better and fill going across that page. So that gives me an idea of kind of how that's going to look. If I wanted to work the text a little bit more, I obviously could. Next, I'm going to work on the inside top. I'm going to leave that section blank. The inside bottom, I'm going to insert a text box again. So I'm going to come under Objects, Text Layer. And one of the hints that I have is I make my text box go from like safety margin to safety margin. Then when I'm entering the text, I'll center that up. And I'm just going to type in text box. So I know that's what's going to go in there. And then I'm going to add one more text box. Oops. Scoot this up. On this one, I'm going to choose more of a script font. And let's get to one a little bit better. Maybe put in a personalized message there, and then they have a way to sign that down below. So I can personalize that text going in. Then I'm going to go to the back of it. I'm going to insert an image layer again. I'm going to set the size and location. I'm going to make it 2 by 2 and just say OK on that. And I'm just going to eyeball this one. I'm not going to measure it out. But I want it to be the lower center of the page. I can drop an image into that, crop it up, type in the date on that. Oops. Position that in there as well. If I wanted to on that image, I can also come in and I think I'm going to add a stroke to that just to help set it off a little bit. And now I have a front of the card, the inside message, and then the back of the card. I can always save this layout so that I can use it over and over again, and then it's just drag and drop the images in. Once everything's correct on that, I have a preview option that will let me export JPEG, so I can preview that to my customer, or I just press Add to Order, and I can verify everything is correct right there. So a real quick and easy way to design a card in Easy Suite. If I designed my cards in Photoshop, here's how I would order them. I've already loaded the images that I designed in Photoshop into Easy Suite. I'll come to Cards. In this case, I'm working with the designer card. It's two-sided. It is the 5 by 5 size. And the shape is present. And then I can drag the front and the back elements in, choose the paper type that I want to work with, and press Add to Order. Envelopes are available for this product at additional cost, and you will see listed whether the envelopes are included or not within Easy Suite. Quantities will also start at a quantity of 24 and increase in increments of 4 or 6 depending on the product and the size. Once everything is entered, I'm going to go to my Order tab, verify it, and then finalize order to submit that to H&H. On the supplies order form, we have several card template designer card flyers that you can order. These will show you all the different shapes that are available. It also shows you the shapes that are available with some of the graphic styles that are available to download from our website. So it's a quick reference guide. To find those on our website, go to the sitemap and then ordering or supplies order form. At the top here, you'll see the slimline card design sheets, designer shapes, and paper sales kits. This includes the 32 designer shapes and paper samples, as well as the 5 template flyer sheets. That's what we were just looking at, and you can view previews of those right here, as well as the holiday card sample kit. This is some of the holiday cards that we have available with the templates that are available. These are printed on our press papers, and those are available to purchase through supplies. So make sure you check those out. Those can help your Christmas sales as well. Well, that brings us to the end of this holiday card class. Don't forget all the Photoshop guides and templates that you can download from the H&H website, the specific holiday card templates that are set up down below, as well as our other ornaments and template designs that are available. As always, thanks for attending today's web class, and we hope to see you in another web class real soon.